The way you described that made me want to have some more bourbon. So
good. I think that's the purpose.
Maybe we'll do like bedtime stories bourbon edition. You know? Hey, whoa, me first, dude.
All right, you go first
No,
then.
you go first. You always go first.
All right, I'm Zach.
I'm Brandon.
And we're
The Bourbon Bros.
of course, right? So today we're doing a little tasting of Jim Beam's new bottle, the new valued bottle.
Yeah, the 7-year age-stated beauty of a bottle.
Oh, that's a little heavy.
That's okay. It's only 90 proof, which is a 4% jump, we think, from the previous iteration. We don't know if it's previous. Technically, they're still producing the extra aged, but the theory out there is that at some point they may do away with the extra age and replace it with this beauty.
Is it just kind of like a rebranding to get more traffic to their valued bourbons?
I have a theory. You know, this is part of that big legacy distillery footprint in Kentucky, right? Jim Beam's, they're the big one. And I don't know that they control in the bourbon world. This is just me talking spit here.
Oh, you gotta give him that huck and spit on that thing, you get me?
Yeah.
I don't know if they control as much share as maybe they would like, right? When you're the biggest and you produce the most, you'd like to kind of own your own backyard. And I gotta think Buffalo Trace has the reputation, maybe not the sales dollars or the volume, but the reputation of being the best 90 proofer, that best entry level bourbon.
Yeah. And this fits in that value category. I'm really curious to give it a taste and see what that 90 proof's like.
What'd you pay for this one? It's like $23, right? $22.99.
Was it?
Yeah.
Was it that cheap? I don't even remember what it cost. I swear I was gonna say $40.
So it was $22.99.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, we got it in Delavan. I can actually tell you the price of every bottle back there. I don't know why. I just every single one I know what I paid and where I bought it.
Sure.
But yeah, no, $22.99. Listen, you're already starting with a value prop, right? So if you can just come in with okay whiskey, I think you're already meeting that value.
Yeah, totally agree. And we've had this, so we already kind of assuming this is going to give a little bit of punch up, but having it by itself, I think is going to really tell the tale here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's got a nice color, right? You can tell it spent a little bit of time in the barrel. It's in that golden spectrum, but it's kind of got like a golden brown.
Yeah.
Like toast almost.
It's got an interesting nose.
Salty peanut shells, like shells of a peanut.
Yeah, or even like pistachio shells that you suck on after they come out of the bag. Those are those. Yes, I agree.
And then just like obvious oak and vanilla. I'm picking up on the nose. Those two are pretty obvious for me. So kind of that peanutty, which is typical Jim Beam. Yeah. And then that vanilla oak for sure. Heavy oak. This is an oak. Yeah. Oaky profile.
The oak really comes through here. But what I think I realized the most, the very first thought in my head is it's silky. Like it has a very good mouthfeel.
Yeah, I agree.
And I really like that because I know that I'm going to get a nice coat, and every sip that I have, it's just going to continue to get better and better, and I'm going to be able to dive deeper and deeper into those different characters.
The way you described that made me want to have some more bourbon. So
good. I think that's the purpose.
Maybe we'll do like bedtime stories bourbon edition. You know?
Where you play like a lullaby?
Yeah, like an audio book for bourbon, you know?
Sure.
No, I agree. The mouthfeel is really good for an entry-level bourbon. I would say that's, you know, if there's strata of bourbon, that characteristic's in a higher strata for sure.
Yeah, this would be a really big contender for, you know, what's best in value right now.
I couldn't agree. Maybe we should do a lineup like that.
Maybe we should.
Maybe we did.
Maybe you haven't seen it yet.
What are your thoughts on taste?
Taste-wise, I am a sucker for char, and this kind of leans heavy on that note. I'm not saying this is a super in-depth bourbon. By no means is this compared to like what we just recently had, which was a Peerless Double Oak Rye.
Yeah.
And that just was screaming different characters. Yeah. This is, if I had tasting this by itself as a value bourbon, this is great sipper. This is definitely something I want to keep on my shelf, especially if I'm going to be buying value bourbons that I can sip on, but I also probably have as a mixer.
Yeah.
This because it fits in that price category.
Yeah, and the smokiness of this, the oaky, woody flavors, I think would stand up in a mixer as a cocktail for sure. That's a great point. My thoughts are pretty simple. For us, as we've started doing more of this, I feel like we get a lot of the questions of like, hey, what do you recommend, right? And that's such a broad question. It's like, okay, well now I gotta give you like a good recommendation, right?
Yeah.
This would be an easy recommendation for me. I could feel pretty confident recommending this to somebody.
Yeah.
If they're looking for, hey, like somebody's like, hey, what's a cheap bourbon I could get? I'd be like, oh, you'd love this. This is good. And I would feel good about recommending that. A 7-year bottle for $22, just it's pretty nice. It's nice to have that option.
It's almost like their duty.
Yeah.
You know, because craft people really, they're doing craft stuff. You know what I mean? Like they have to do something unique and different and kind of niche sometimes.
Yep.
And so like the big guys, it's kind of their duty to be able to make the value to drive more business.
Yeah. Any last thoughts on the bottle?
Last thoughts, I think this is a wonderful sipper. If this is something where I ended up having $0 and I still wanted to buy bourbon and I saved up for it, this would be the one I get. Because it's tasty, it delivers a nice char, it has a wonderful mouthfeel. It's something you can savor, it's something I can mix.
Yeah.
I think it hits the notes that it wants to hit. Not that there's a lot of them, but it really hits them hard, and I appreciate that about it.
Yeah, I would echo something similar, right? You're getting a great value for your dollar. When you look at the kind of the big three, caramel, oak, vanilla, this kind of leans more towards the, the oaky vanilla side to me. It's not overly sweet, but if you got something that covers your basis for, the like Buffalo Trace is sweet, right?
Yeah.
That covers the sweetness basis. But if you start to kind of venture off into like, okay, well, I lean like you lean towards that char.
That char side.
Like this would be a great segue bourbon for a lot of people, I think.
Yeah.
And it looks great. It can't be understated. They killed the label.
Yeah, they got some really good shelf presence there. So, you're Brandon.
Still.
And I'm Zach.
We're the Bourbon Bros.
All right, we'll see you on the next one.